Hello, this is our group presentation of our group homeostasis lab with
Ariana Soar.
Benjamin Wilder.
And Felipe Cisneros. Our first experiment was a test on resting pulse rates. The first question related to the resting pulse rate lab was, can you think of times when your heart rate would naturally increase or decrease? The answer we came up with was our heart rate naturally increases when we get scared and naturally decreases when we're resting. The next question was, do you think that the sympathetic nervous system has an impact on heart rate? Our answer was yes. When we're scared or out of our comfort zone, our sympathetic nervous system quickens our heart rate. This causes a homeostatic response to lower our heart rate back to the set point. Our final question for the resting pulse rate lab was, what do you think might counteract or balance the effects of the sympathetic nervous system? Our answer was the parasympathetic nervous system. Here is some of our data for the resting pulse rate lab. This is Ben's data, Ariana's data, and my data.
Our next experiment is about the adaptation of set points to environmental variables. We had a few questions to answer for this experiment. We hypothesized that if a subject exercises for 60 seconds, their heart rate will be higher than their resting heart rate until homeostatic mechanisms initiate. Another question for this experiment was, do you think you should use the same subject that you examined in exercise A for the resting pulse rate experiment? Our answer was yes, because you would want to control as many variables as possible to eliminate errors. The more control you have in an experiment, the more accurate the results and less room for error. Here is Ben's data relating to the exercise in this experiment. This is my data, and this is Felipe's data. Some answers to questions we had for this experiment were, how did your resting heart rate compare to your exercising heart rate? We found that the resting heart rate was a lot slower than the exercising heart rate. Our next question was, what were the independent and dependent variables? The independent variables are the resting and exercising. The dependent variable is the subject's heart rate. The last question is, what were your controlled variables? The controlled variable is the subject, the exercise, and the time recorded.
For our final experiment, we hypothesized that if the subject is measured on texting accuracy and speed, the subject would be more accurate and faster, focusing on only completing one task compared to doing two tasks simultaneously. Our experimental method for this lab was to record errors and how long it takes to text, "I really love eating donuts," with the subject's non-dominant hand. Then we would repeat step 1 3 more times. The next step was to record errors and how long it takes to text, "I really love eating donuts," with the subject's non-dominant hand while eating with their dominant hand a donut. Step 4 will be to repeat steps 3 more times. And finally, we would compare results. Here is Felipe's data for this experiment. Here is Ariana's data. And here is a video of us collecting my data. Hello, this is our sample video of our donut experiment. Our first 3 tests will have no donut, and only my left hand will test out the message, "I really love eating donuts." The next 3 tests will have me texting the same message, except simultaneously I will be eating a donut.
I'll be recording the time.
And I'll be writing it down.
All right. Test 1, start. Time.
That was 19 seconds.
Awesome. 1 error, 1 typing error. Okay, getting ready for test 2. Start. Okay, time.
18 seconds.
One error, one spelling error. Okay, getting ready for test 3. Start. And time.
19 seconds.
And no errors this time. Okay, now for our next test, I will be eating a donut in my right hand as I complete the experiment, as I complete the test. So, test 1 while eating a donut. Start. Time.
23 seconds.
2 errors. Let me erase and chew. All right, test 2. Start. Time.
20 seconds.
1 error. 20 seconds to swallow. All right, test 3. Start. And time.
23 seconds.
All right. Thank you for watching. And here's the data we collected from the video. Here are some final answers to some questions we had related to this experiment. What are your independent and dependent variables? The independent variable is the subject eating a donut. The dependent variable is the subject's texting ability. The next question was, what will be your controlled variables in your experiment? The controlled variables in the experiment would be using the same phone, typing the same sentence, using the same hand, eating the same food, and using the same subject. The last question was, how did you calculate accuracy? We calculated accuracy based on how little mistakes we made and how long it took to type the full text while eating a donut or not eating a donut. In conclusion, our experiment results supported our hypothesis that doing a single task of texting would be quicker and more accurate than doing 2 tasks simultaneously. Thank you for watching.